Yeah, so Point Loma has been around for, Point Loma, the location has been around for thousands of years, but millions, I guess. But Point Loma Nazarene University has been around for just over 100 years. And in 2015, we started what we call our hybrid program, which is the idea that we bring Point Loma's campus, or the faculty and the material to you at a local community college. Now, I will say this is our first time up this way, as far as I'm aware, to chat about a program that could take place here. And does anybody know, or how many of you are familiar with where Point Loma, Liberty Station, some other areas in San Diego are down that way? A little bit. So our main campus overlooks the sea. It's a gorgeous location. As I said, we started our hybrid programs in 2015. And then just a few years back, we started our fully online programs. Now these programs are exactly that. You can take those fully online. You can, all of your classes are asynchronous. There's no particular set time that you have to show up for the class. But the hybrid ones end up, and we'll talk about that a little bit more with our about the program. But the hybrid ones, you have some classes online and then some that are in person throughout the week, one night a week. But I'll just move on to the next, let's see. Yeah, and as you'll see here, Point Loma is number 12 in Regional Universities West, number 9 in undergraduate teaching, and then one of my favorite things is our student to faculty ratio is 15:1. So that means there's not these massive classes where you're just kind of lost in a number. You actually get to know the other students, the faculty, pretty well during the duration of the program. And by the way, while I'm speaking, I'm going to pass this around, and we'd love to be able to keep in touch with you if you are interested in finding out more about our program. But and then Point Loma is a Christian university. You don't have to be a Christian to attend Point Loma, but that is the worldview that our faculty are coming from when teaching our programs. Now, a little bit more about us is, again, because of our smaller size than some of the larger universities, if you told me today that you wanted to apply for a program at Point Loma Nazarene University, I would be your admissions counselor, or another admissions counselor would be your designated admissions counselor through the process. We would help you get through that process. We would then hand you over to a student success counselor that would, again, be a designated counselor for you. This person would help you in coming up with an academic plan, you're registering for classes, and providing other resources that you might need. And I'll skip around here, but you would also be assigned to a financial counselor. This would be one counselor that you would be able to connect with each time you call. So unlike a lot of larger universities where you're talking to a different person every time, maybe you can find this sometimes with a variety of different things you have to call in for. You often have to re-explain yourself, go through your situation again. Sometimes you might even be told to take this class when you don't need it. With us, we have those assigned people that are familiar with your situation. They get to know you well in the process. And then we also have our career services to help you as you go on to move forward after graduating. And then we have an excellent military advisor. We're a yellow ribbon school. We accept military benefits, and if you happen to be active military, we actually have a very good discount for our program. And I think there might be one more slide there. Yeah, and then just why should you choose a bachelor's degree? I don't know if everyone in here is seriously considering a bachelor's yet. I know for me, I was the first one in my family to not only graduate high school on my mom's side, but to go to college. It was a really big deal. And I like to think of like the different opportunities that it provides you that you wouldn't have otherwise. So return on financial investment. those with bachelor's degree are projected to make 70 to 75% more income. Your career options and advancement, probably one of the biggest things that I hear from students is they want to move up in their career fields, they want to have better opportunities in leadership and management in their organizations. And full-time workers with an average, with a bachelor's degree make on average $22,000 more. And then even just think of for yourself, a lot of students that I speak to as well would just, maybe they're like me, they've never had anybody go through college. They would just like to know that someone in their family can do that they can do that personally. I speak to more and more people who actually have children who are maybe going into college or later in high school, and they want to show their children that, hey, this is something that you can do. So often for the parent, it's an opportunity to show them that that they can do this as well. So just a number of things. So as we talk a little bit more about Point Loma here, as we keep going, I want you to kind of consider those things and why it is that you want to do a bachelor's degree. So, hand it over. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're just a little pressed for time, so I want to make sure we get it all out there. I want to speak to you a little bit more on a practical term, like what is it exactly about Point Loma that kind of stands out and why we're actually here? Because I'm sure there's many of different universities that you've thought about possibly transferring to, right? Some in your local communities, maybe some of you are thinking about traveling somewhere. Well, I'm going to share really the niche for Point Loma and your personal interests. So you've completed a certain amount of units here, and you're going to max out, right? 60 units, possibly some units past your associates is what you'll be allowed to get here within the community college. So you're going to have to transfer somewhere else if your goal is a bachelor's degree, right? So the institution here is not offering a bachelor's degree, so you're going to need to transfer somewhere, and that's where you're going to have to really think about where is the best place for me? Where do I fit? What are my goals? What's my passion? Where do I want to continue studying? And so I'd like to offer or you to consider Point Loma National University. So we're located in Point Loma in San Diego County, but we also have a total of 6 campuses. One of them is in Bakersfield. We have one in Liberty Station, in Claremont. Our main campus is in Point Loma. We also have one in Mission Valley. And the way that we operate this program is that we will actually come to you if you decide to take one of 2 different models that we offer. One is called the hybrid model. That means that you could come to class just like this. Our Point Loma faculty will travel here and teach out of your classrooms that you are already attending here at your campus. So that means that if you live within the local community, you don't have to travel all the way down to Point Loma or to any of our other campuses. You could actually attend here. Now that's the first model, that's the hybrid model. So hybrid meaning 1 night a week in class. The rest of the week you would do your work and you would do your reading and all the requirements online. You would also meet with your professors via Zoom using Canvas. And so you would remain connected to your class and to your peers, and you would have a great learning environment once a week. And so each week, if you decide to take the hybrid program, you would come to class and it would be the same day of the week all the way through the program. So we're considered accelerated. Our classes are 8 weeks long. So the format looks like this. I'll probably come back to this if we have time, but let me just show you really quick what the classes would look like. So you're going to be, if you decided to come to Point Loma, you would transfer in just about at the end of your junior to senior year. Because with us, what makes us exceptional is that you're only required to get 36 units from a university, meaning university prices are higher than they are at the community college, the junior college. So if you're thinking about, let's say, Riverside or San Bernardino, any of the universities that are in the general area, or maybe you want to go down to San Diego, like Cal State San Marcos or San Diego State, you have to look at the tuition, and our tuition is equally comparable, and you'll get a 20% discount if you sign up through the college here, because we're developing a partnership with Mount San Jacinto College, and those who sign up through Mount San Jacinto College will get a 20% discount on top of the already reduced tuition. All you have to do is get 36 units. So that means you could transfer in up to 84 units from the community college. So if you think about what you're paying for tuition at the community college in comparison to university, it'll save you a lot of money. Every other state university that's within your local region will require 60 units minimum that you complete with their university. So that means you're able to transfer it. So a total of 120 units is what you need for your bachelor's degree. So if you get 60 units here, you could take your 60 units, transfer it to one of the local universities, and complete the rest of your 60 units. With us, you could transfer in 84 units from here. Now, I know you might be thinking, but if I've already completed my 60 units, my associate's degree, where are the other 24 units going to come from, right? Because there's 24 units that you can take here at the community college rather than at a university at a higher rate. So you can take electives that are of your interest. You will have a counselor, such as John, that will be assigned to you. Once you're registered and enrolled with us, then another counselor will pick you up and journey alongside of you the entire way through, as in helping you to navigate your path. And that's what I really want to talk about, is navigating your path. What are you really interested in? By being in your classroom in administration of justice, or a focus that's in justice, I have to assume that you have an interest in justice and you want to go out there and do something. Maybe you haven't found what that is. Maybe you don't know your ideal career job yet. You're kind of reaching, but you just don't know. Some of you might be thinking about law enforcement. Some of you might be thinking about getting into law, like as an interpretation of the law, become an attorney, or somewhere within the courts. Some of you are thinking about corrections. The three biggest institutions in criminal justice: corrections, law enforcement, and the law, or the legal courts. But in addition to that, there's many, many other fields in the criminal justice sector. So you could get into advocacy, or looking to change community relations, or criminology. There's so many different things that you could get into that is going out towards helps and services towards those that have been criminal justice impacted, right? Those who have faced the criminal justice system, and you might be thinking, I want to find a place in there. I'll give you one quick example because we are a little short on time, but I spent a 20-year career with the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, under the Department of Justice. And as a criminal investigator, I got to travel the world. I get to be involved in some of the most extensive, complex criminal investigations that you could think of. Those that you see on the headliners of the news. You may have seen some of our, well, no, you'll never see any of our agents there because we kind of operate as ghosts. But that was my experience. But I didn't just wind up there one day. I didn't just say, I would really like to do that, and then all of a sudden woke up there. I actually had to plan my life when I was sitting here in your seats, exactly where you sat. I thought, what do I really want to do? And my ultimate goal was to get into large-term investigations. And I said, if I take the police route, I'm going to have to do a lot of street patrolling and that sort of thing for many years before I could get out to be a detective or investigations, the things that I really wanted. That was my personal passion. So I found out about the federal government and that they have investigative positions. And so I thought about, well, what about the DEA or the FBI or the ATF or the CIA or any of those acronym alphabet soup agencies that are out there? And so I applied for the FBI, DEA. DEA hired me. When I was already in the academy, then the FBI called. They said, okay, we'd like to offer you a spot at our academy. I said, I'm already at the DEA, so I'm not going to leave my training and go there. So long story short, it was a design. I didn't have any extra qualities that you might not have. I just focused on what I really wanted. And so if you sit here and you're thinking about, I really want to do this one thing, well, what's it going to take? So education is the starting point, because if you desire a federal job, a bachelor's degree is the entry level, like the minimum to get in. And you have to think, you're applying amongst thousands of people because it's a nationwide job advertisement. So you're competing against people from all over the United States. And so you want to make yourself marketable. Education gets you to that marketability. So a bachelor's degree is the entry level. So in my personal experience, again, I'll just share a little bit from my personal testimony, but I started off in the United States Marine Corps. I served there 8 years. By the time I was done with my 8 years, I had a master's degree. So all of that kind of like a stepping stone to get to where I wanted. So those are just ideas I'd like to throw out there to you, because you're in this perfect position to make up your mind, because really that's what it's going to take. What do you want to do? And don't let nothing stop you from getting in. And you have a lot of support. If you choose to come to Point Loma, our faculty are of that type. We keep our classroom small so that we can engage and interact with each of you. All of our faculty members come from the field of criminal justice in some way or another. Some are working in the field, some have retired, some are part-time teaching, but still operating in their field. And we have former police, we have former corrections, we have attorneys that are still operating attorneys. We have people who are advocates, who have nonprofit agencies, who are doing great works for the communities. or helping in reducing some of the injustice that we may see in the criminal justice system. There's many components to the justice system, and we try to offer it all. We try to expose you so that you can make the best choice for your life. We don't come out and say, this is what you should do, but we should say, where are your strengths? Let's highlight those so we can help navigate you to where you want to go. These are what the classes would look like. This is just the basics, so you have an understanding mentally what it looks like. So if you look at the far left corner, spring 2004, there's a Q1 and a Q2. That stands for Quad 1, Quad 2. Each quad is 8 weeks long, and so when I say it's somewhat accelerated, is that your typical semester in college will be 16 weeks long, right? So we still have that, but we have it designed specifically for the working adult or somebody who has other life commitments and doesn't have the time possibly to attend 5 days a week with varying schedules. Here you will have, this is the hybrid model. I'll show you the fully online model after that. But the green represents classes you would take on ground, like in class, and the yellow represent the classes you would take online. So in a typical, let's say you were coming up to summer, let's say you were ready to go, and this is your last class and you want to transfer as quick as summer, you could register for Quad 1. If you wanted, well, right now we're not offering the on-ground yet because we still have some formalities to finish up here with your college here, but the fully online model is and available for you as soon as the summer, or maybe you're planning for the fall. But if you're planning for the summer, in Quad 1 you would start off with Constitutional Foundations. At the same time, should you choose to, you would also take the class below it, Color of Law. And so the Color of Law and the Constitutional Foundations are both 3 units each here. So this would be a total of 6 units. As soon as you complete this 8-week cycle, you would immediately go into the next set of classes. And so you would complete then this course, Criminology, and you would complete this course at the same time, Research Methods for Criminal Justice. So this represents 1 full semester, 16 weeks, but you've taken a total of 12 units. As soon as that semester is done, you would move directly into the fall, and you would do the exact same, well actually you would move in this direction. You would complete these 2 classes, first 8 weeks, the next 2 classes, the next 8 weeks. So you see in 2 semesters, you already have 24 units. Remember I said all you need is 36 units with us. The next semester, you complete these 12 units, and you've completed the whole program. This could be completed in 1 year. So if you start off in the summer, you can complete by the next summer. So it'd be a year and a few months because it's at the end. So that's why we consider it to be accelerated. So if you're coming in, you could start as soon as 60 units, and those extra 24 units that you'll need, that if you want to continue to take here at the community college, you could double up. You could start taking these classes and classes if you're able. You have the time. Yes?
Sorry, do you take lower division transfers or no?
We do into, not these courses cannot be transferred. These are the core major. So you're transferring into us just to complete your major. According to the accreditation to give you a bachelor's degree, these are courses you have to take, but you can bring in plenty of your own, and it wouldn't be necessarily a substitute, but it would just be something that would fill in for those 24 units.
Okay.
So all of your electives, anything that you've taken, underwater basket weaving is kind of just the general, that could be transferred as an elective or something like that. You would get with your counselors and they would look and see that it directly fits, but as long as this is a state approved college, so it should transfer with no problem. Does anybody have questions about the format of how this looks? Yes.
Well, mine's sort of on the format because I'm a VA student.
Okay.
I get paid to go to school.
Yes.
So with it being only 8 weeks long, I know that like for classes, if I take a half semester course, I don't get paid until that course starts. Say there's some issue where you can't take one of the courses a semester. Is that gonna screw people over? Because like it has to be for my full pay. I have to take 12 credits
Yes.
in a semester, and that has to be from start to finish.
Yes.
With that, it looks like it's 6 credits per 8-week segment. So I'm not seeing how it would work with the VA.
Okay, so it can look like that. So we are a yellow ribbon school. We actually focus on our military. I'm a veteran, and we also have a director of military services that focuses just on assisting our veterans. So this actually does accumulate to be the 12 units that you would need to get the full, the max payout. Believe I went through it myself. and it would give you the full 12 units per semester. So what our school will submit to the VA will be 12 units per semester, and that's it. So 12 units, 12 units, 12 units, if you follow that path. Now, you don't have to take 12 units every semester. That's could be slightly rigorous, especially if you're still taking classes here. But if you don't want to follow this format, you're welcome just to take the top row and then come back and take the bottom row after. And that would just be a little slower in completion, but you would still get there. So you can actually work at your pace, but this is kind of like our default. And so if this is something that works for you, just wanted to give you an idea. If we do actually set up, or when we do set up the hybrid model, then you could actually choose this one if you like. And if you like the being in class and being able to engage with peers and being able to ask questions, this is the other model. But that's probably by next year, spring, around there. Let me just go back to this just so I can quickly answer questions. Cohort model for the hybrid program, meaning you'll start with the group of people that register in that semester, and you'll probably complete the entire program with those same students. So that goes towards strengths in like bonding and communicating and sharing with your peers, kind of going through tough times together. You build some really great relationships. So there's a fully online model. So if you want to take if you just want to go fully online, your degree at the end of it, your diploma, the paper that you're all waiting for, will say just a bachelor's degree from Point Loma University. You'll see nothing related to online. It's exactly the same curriculum. The green and the yellow pictures that you saw up there are the exact same curriculum. It's just a different format. I think I covered the majority of this stuff fully online. Quad 1 and 2. All of our classes are taught by our own faculty. There is an 80-hour internship requirement there at the end.
You have 15 minutes, so keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, 15.
And that is a great opportunity for you to get out there and apply everything that you've learned throughout your entire learning experience. You will not be able to take that course until your final semester. So if you'll notice here, this is in the final. So if you started in the summer, you would move on to the set of classes at the end, and then you would jump to the final semester. So the final semester cannot be taken until the first two have been completed. The reason why is because the internship is here. And that's a full 16-week internship requirement. And what we do is we've already established internship agencies that will work with you. So somewhere around in your second semester, when you're getting ready to go into your third, we'll provide you with a list. It's actually a website with more than, I'd say around 50 or more different agencies in every different criminal justice category that you could think of. I sit around and I think, what would people be interested in? I've even reached out to human pet services, where somebody wants to be a enforcement of the laws that relate to pets. There are some criminal justice students that are interested in that, so we've even partnered with them. But what I'm saying is that we have many, many different agencies that we partner with, and we make it very easy for you. We basically provide you the information. There's a link that will take you to the application of it, and it's done online. That agency will reach out to you. It's like a warm handoff, and you just show up basically. Some of them might ask you to interview, or it's almost like preparing to go into for a career in criminal justice. And so it's great preparation, because just maybe months following this, you may start to actually look for a career. Many students get hired by those agencies. So if you, let's say, I'll throw out some of the common career interests from students, maybe probation. Anybody thinking about probation? Or anybody thinking about law enforcement, or maybe legal field, corrections, any of those, we have partnerships. You could actually go into the prisons, the county jail, or a juvenile hall because of our partnership with those agencies. And you would actually be able to complete your internship there. It's a great opportunity, again, to network with people that are working in criminal justice to see if you like it. There's nothing worse than going and working, it's really hard to get into a career, and then you get there and you're like, I don't want to be here, this isn't what I expected. So your internship's a great time to see if this is what you actually like. Could you imagine yourself doing this? When your alarm clock goes off in the morning, if you love what you do, you won't snooze it, 5 times. You'll get up and you'll say, I can't wait to get there. I want to go and make a difference. I want to go do what I'm called to do, right? If you're not liking what you do, you're kind of just doing it because it's kind of like you're living, then it's going to be one of those things where you're like, I had to get there. That's why I say take this time while you're here and really reflect inside yourself. What do I want to do? And then do whatever it takes to get there. And you have plenty of support. I know your professor here, and many of your faculty members, and at Point Loma, we're here to guide you, to help you. Your next generation criminal justice, I love the criminal justice field, and so I want to do whatever I can to possibly help, to support, to be there for you as you're going through your process. Okay, is there any questions that I can answer before we allow you guys to move on? John, if you would answer some questions related to the cost of the program. And when I mentioned that we are, if you just do a quick Google search on any of the universities in our surrounding general area, we are exactly comparable and even possibly less than some, especially with that discount that's offered. So if anybody has questions related to the program costs, ways to be able to pay, John could help with that. And we will also be here and available to you. Maybe not today, but we're gonna make sure we leave our information plus some handouts if you'd like to reach out to us, or you can also go to plnu.edu, and that's our website, and you can see the campus, how amazing it is. If you've been down to San Diego, it's on Sunset Cliffs overlooking the ocean. Anywhere you are on campus, you can see the ocean. That would be your campus. Like, as in, you would come there anytime and use all the resources. When you bring your family for graduation, they're gonna enjoy that scenery. Okay, so John, tell us a little bit about the program cost.
Yeah, so that's obviously one of the big questions, and I won't dwell too much on this because I know you've had a second to look at that, but it is $560 per unit for those 36 units we were talking about. But you guys will be eligible for 20% off of that. So that brings it down to $448 per unit. I don't know the 20% off the 20,000 there, but you literally save thousands of dollars on the program with us. And we do accept financial aid. We always recommend people apply for financial aid.
It'd be around 12,000.
What's that?
You said 20% off of the 20,000?
Yes.
Should be around 12,000.
Yes, so about 12,000 with a discount. I mean, that's incredible.
No.
And as we said before, we accept military benefits and financial aid. I will say, if anybody happens to be active duty military, we have a flat rate of $250 per unit, so you save even more. And we keep the application process really simple, even while we're working out the details here with what it looks like at this school to do our program hybrid. You can still start an application. It's a free application. There's no commitment by applying. We can do a transcript pre-evaluation, see how many units you have from here, any other colleges, some units from a JST, anything like that. We'll have a look at, see what you have to transfer in, how many you would need to complete the program in total, or how many more you could take here. And then we would have you order your official transcripts. We keep that pretty simple in regards to the application process. Once we have all three of those things, we can get you a decision on your application and get you moving forward. So that's kind of the basics of those. My number's there in the middle. My name is John, but you can contact any of us that are listed here. And actually, I'll hand out my cards as well for you guys. But I'm happy to answer any questions in regards to admissions and the costs and stuff like that.
I have a question. I don't know if it's like a big pause, but is criminal justice like the only program that you offer for the hybrid?
No, so we have actually 8 different programs that are used in the same exact model. So child development is one of them. Computer information technology, we have a communications, a nursing program, an RN to BSN. There's also, I'll give you the actual website and it shows all of them, but those are the core. And those will all be available as well. So if you went to our website, you can see them all there. You can just look under the Adult Accelerated Program, or AUG, Adult Undergrad Program. And so there you can see all the different programs, and they can all be either completely online or, and many different community colleges in San Diego County. So the nearest one would be Palomar College, as well as Palomar in San Marcos, as well as Mira Costa College, is the nearest to here that we offer on-ground programs at. In San Diego County, we're pretty much at every community college, so our faculty travel to those community colleges and teach out just as we do. Any other questions? Anything else we can help? Yes?
So I would have to get my AA and then additional 24 credits to get into the university?
No, you can actually transfer in before that if you'd like, but that is fully up to you because then you will be taking our program as well as still continuing courses here. If you feel that you can handle it, you have the time and the dedication to do that, then you are welcome to do that. We have an actual 0 units to 120, so somebody could actually come in with nothing and start, and they can take courses here or even with us. I mean, there are just multiple options, but you are welcome to start with us. We just say around 60 units is appropriate because then that your load won't be so heavy. You see, but it's up to you. Everybody's different in their, their time.
Yeah, we look at the number of units rather than associates or something like that. So even if somebody had multiple bachelor's degrees, we still look at the number of units and can transfer in a certain amount. So, because I find a lot of folks have taken a lot of units, actually way more than even 84. So, but that's still the maximum we can do. But we can, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Do you guys have like a required GPA or like what the kind of admission rate looks like?
Yeah, so the required GPA for our hybrid program is 2.25, is that correct? For
No, it's actually 2.0.
2.0 for both,
So
okay.
So 2.0, and there are exceptions. So let's say somebody had a 1.8 for some reason, maybe 10 years ago, you took a bunch of classes and then you're coming in and you're still kind of carrying that lower GPA, we can make exceptions. It would just, so I'm the director of the program as well as a professor in the program. And so you would just meet with me and you would tell me, hey, this is what happened. I just want to know that you are going to be able to succeed. We don't want you to come to the university and if you take loans and then not be set up for success. I want to hear from you that, look, this is what I've done. I'm only working part-time. I'm going to dedicate my time to this. And it's kind of like that. It's really looking out for your best interest. It's not one of those where we just want to take in as many people. It's more like as if you had a lower GPA, then it would just need an articulated reason for this is what happened. I was going through some stuff, but now I'm ready. Okay, then if you feel like you're ready to go. But at 2.0 is the basic. Okay, I'll leave my contact information as well if anybody has any questions or would even like to call me and just talk more about this is what I like to do, but I don't know what path to navigate. I leave myself available to answer any questions related to anything that might help you. Yes, sir.
Have some of these papers.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to leave them here at the end, but we'll give you one. And then you came in a little late, but we'll.
there you go.
You can read the majority of it there, or you can contact us after. We just don't want to take up any more of your time.
Yeah, and if you happen to be interested in any other programs as well, we do have our main campus there, where we have a much larger number of